Hi again then guys, and so we've got another GranTurismo 6 top speed tune for you today, and this time it's for the original Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, the Mark 1. So you want your racing soft tyres. For suspension we've got the ride height on 100, front and rear. Springs we've rounded off to 575 and 525. Dampers and anti-roll to 4. Camber on 2. Neutral toe of course. For the gearbox, you want an auto setting of 180, then we've rounded off the gears to 2245, 1530, 1125, 865, 700 and 590 with a final drive of 3.6. Obviously, being an all-wheel drive car, especially an all-wheel drive car which doesn't have a huge amount of power, wheel spin isn't really an issue, but we've got low initial torque anyway, high acceleration and low braking with a torque split of 30-70. You want all your power upgrades of course, and although I haven't fitted it I would of course recommend using NOS. I've chosen to leave the rear wing on this one, obviously that's personal preference, and obviously you want the full weight loss package. Traction control is as usual turned off, and for any who are new to the channel I would always recommend turning traction control off. And with this tune, although with most of my tunes you can use an automatic gearbox, as I do myself most of the time, this tune does require using a manual, because in order to get the best out of it, you just have to. So this tune is, considering it's literally the lowest spec Evo, obviously being the original Evo that's not surprising, it has the least power of all of the Evo models, it's still got really good performance for a car of its power, and for a vehicle which at the end of the day is not designed for top speed. Now, it's surprising, to me anyway, that the variation between the Evo models, in a similar way really to the variation between the Subaru and Impreza models, doesn't really change that much through the different generations. They do have more power as you go along, but the difference in performance, especially top speed, doesn't really change all that much. And so even this original version, even though it's got the lowest spec of all of the Evos, it can still cruise at 223 miles per hour, which for its power is very good really. That's faster than some racing cars with significantly more power than this. Now as far as draft potential, you have actually got a decent amount of that, over 1000 RPMs worth, so you should be able to quite easily slipstream this up around 250, maybe even 260 miles per hour, which again for its power is very good. Now how many people are going to be using it to do that, I don't know, but at least the potential is there if you need it. Like I said, cruising speed is over 220, which is pretty impressive, and the difference between the Evo and the Evo 2 actually isn't as big as you might expect, considering how similar the two cars are. The Evo 2 does of course have slightly more power, but the performance increase isn't all that much. Handling wise, it's an Evo. It's a great handling car, that shouldn't surprise anyone. And it's kind of an underappreciated model as well. I personally really like the original two Evos because they're more understated than the rest of them, and I like that. Plus I think they just look cool anyway. So for those of you guys who do decide to use this tune, of course I hope you find it fun and competitive, and if you did, feel free to subscribe. I put out new top speed tunes every day. And as always, thanks for watching.